Hi, folks. It's Joe Russo here, your summer school eClass principal. And we are now hosting the second session of the, I guess you would call it
Folks, it's Joe Russo here, your
virtual support session. So I noticed a lot of you have already populated in the chat area. That is fantastic. Thanks for joining me and making the time. I'm going to start right away. I'm going to start answering questions. So in order to participate in the chat, you have to log in with a Google account. If you don't want to log in or don't have a Google account, then I also shared a link to a Google form, and you don't have to log in for that. So you can still use that as a question, as a vehicle for you to share your questions and comments. Okay. All right. So I am going to start from the top, and yes, I accidentally confused the links. So if you clicked on this link and it was under the 11 o'clock time slot by mistake, I swapped the links. But anyhow, the recordings are always shared as well. So the questions, here we go. Good morning, I can't log in, says username and password incorrect. So Piera, just send me an email. I know you may have already, but in between broadcasts today and really around the clock, I'm in my inbox trying to resolve any login issues and registration requests. There's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other people that are doing the same thing. We are probably the only program in Ontario that is still accepting and registering students while the program has started. So as much as the opportunity is there, we also need your patience to help fulfill all of your requests, because they are very last minute, as registration was open way back in May. Okay, so we will get to all of your registration items and requests. Please remember this. Registration's open until Friday. So that means your teachers already know that potentially they could see students in their course, assuming there's room, as late as Monday morning, first thing in the morning. So teachers know then not to punish those that are, or penalize anyone in their work that's submitted after everyone else's work is submitted, especially if they're if they're submitting work because they registered late and they started late. So not to worry about that, but going into the weekend, we are going to try to catch up on every single email, password reset, registration request, but you also have to help yourselves. And how can you help yourselves? Well, aside from joining these videos and reviewing any recordings that you can't make the live videos for, don't send multiple emails, because then if you send them to me and then you send them to e-register, then we may be doing the same thing, like resetting the same password twice for the same account. The other thing is that when you are sending us an email, please provide enough information, like, hi, I am a Toronto Catholic student and I attend Cardinal Carter High School. My username is this. Can you please reset my password? Or can you please register me in this course? So for Toronto Catholic students, you have to include your username and the current day school that you're registered at for Toronto Catholic during the year. It would also help if you're asking us to register you to send your or include your OEN number, which can be found on a report card or a credit counseling summary. If you're a non-Toronto Catholic student, I understand you may have applied online and then you got accepted and you're dropping off your paperwork. We are doing our best to, process all of your requests. Your username is your OEN number, and then we issue you a password just to ensure security for security reasons. That is the process. So if you are following up with an email, please indicate that you received a confirmation email, you're just waiting on a password, or if you're checking on the status of your application, then please specify you're checking on the status, so that way I know which software to go into to find your actual application, and then move it on to the next process or next step in the process. So sending me an email that just says, hi, I registered, any update, I don't know who you are. I don't have any information that identifies who you are, like your OEN number. I don't have whether you're Toronto Catholic or non-Toronto Catholic. You got to share that information in there. Otherwise, I'm responding to your email by asking you for more information and yet another email and delaying the process further. Other than that, a lot of the questions that were highlighted this morning during this morning's YouTube live session are very similar to those that have been shared already with us. So I am, okay, I'm just going back into my session here because it said YouTube crashed. I crashed YouTube. Not likely. Okay, so I'm reviewing these questions, and a lot of you are inquiring about where to find your course. So what I'll do now is I will go in, I'll share my screen, and I'll show you where you would find your course. Okay. All right. So I've logged in, and in order to find your course, you have two options. You can either go to this select a course icon, which is a 3x3 grid right over here along the top, sort of top center right of your screen. And you can go to the search for a course field and enter 2018 SS, all one word, and then hit enter. And then you will find, I mean, I'll see all of the courses as principal, but for you, you'll see the course that you're in. And then if you want to, you can pin it up so it always remains at the top of your list. Okay. The other option is along the right-hand side, there is a widget called My Courses. And then one of these courses would be the one that you're using. You can't search this. You'd have to read all of the titles of the courses. Okay. So that's how you find your course. And then in terms of what you would do in your course, I'm going to click on this course here called 2018 SS PLC. And this is the course that I use as principal to organize all of your teachers. So we've got almost 200 teachers. And so in order to organize everyone in one common space, I try to practice what I preach. And so I put everybody in an e-learning course. And so I can use this course to demonstrate everything that you need to know around the questions you're asking. So if you want to know what's going on in your course, you're gonna have to read the first page, which is your course homepage, and you'll notice that there could be an activity feed, and your teacher can post items here, and then you can comment. Or if they don't have an activity feed, they may have an announcements widget. And in the announcements area, you'll be able to see what they've communicated to you in terms of due dates, instructions, whatever their style is, right? So, but there is going to be information sharing. And so you have to log in every day. I'm not saying you have to be logged in for 10 hours a day, but you have to make sure you're checking in and you're getting what you need. You can't just check in once in a while and hope that everything is organized and you can pick up from where you left off. You have to log in every day and figure out what's happening, okay? A lot of you are interested in communicating with your teacher, and thank goodness, because they are your leader in the course. So the easiest way to find them is to select class list. So in your navigation bar, you'll notice that there's an icon called class list, okay? And once you click on class list, you're going to see a whole bunch of people in your class. You're going to locate who is your teacher by looking at the role column here, and whoever has the role of teacher is your teacher. And then all you have to do is just click on their name, and then it opens up, a window opens up for you to compose a message and send that email off to them. So here is your editor where you can, well, we can call this the body of the email, and say, hello, I am excited to get started. Okay, and then all you have to do is hit send. All right. So that's how you email your teacher. So how do you check your email within the e-learning site? So along the top, there is an email. I guess you would call them message alerts or message center. There is a space. There's a tool called instant messages, and then there is the email tool. If any of those have a red dot on them, that means there's a notification that you have something there pending for you to review. If you are subscribed to multiple courses, then the notifications would appear here, as well as any other updates that may come through depending on how many courses you're connected to. All right. The other common question that comes in is around assignments. Where do I submit my work? So in terms of my work, I would go to the assignments icon, and that's the assignments tool, okay? And then all I have to do is click on the folder, and once I click on the folder, all you have to do is upload whatever it is you're trying to share with your teacher. Okay? So that's how you would submit your assignments, and you want to do that in a timely manner, because if you want that feedback, or if you want to know how you did on that particular activity, you would go back and you would be able to review your teacher's feedback. How do I know? So how do you upload? Okay, so I'll view this as a student so that you can see what it looks like. Just going to change my view. And so now I'm viewing this course as a student. I'm going to head back to assignments, and I can choose any course assignments folder. Okay, so here is what you see once you try to submit something. You'll notice that this editor appears similar to when you send an email. All you have to do is add a file. If you want to add a file, there you go. Pick it up from my computer, pick up your items, upload, add, and then you're done. Okay, so that's how you can upload your work, and that's it. So there's your upload. So the next thing I want to review, I'll just get out of the student mode. Okay, so I'm actually I've reviewed quite a bit, so I'm gonna pause for a minute, and I'm gonna go to the chat area and try to answer some questions that may not have been answered already. So let me just review. So I've got, do we need to check into the course on the weekends? So forgive me if I mispronounce anybody's name. Cara Slade. In terms of checking in on the weekend, again, it's really hard for me to have the exact approach laid out for every single course, because every teacher has a different style, right? And so if your teacher provides a schedule of events for the whole week, then you do have a sense of, you know, when things are due, when things are happening. If I guess the one thing I should mention is, if you're expecting for your teacher to get back to you on the weekends, or at the very most, if you're expecting your teacher to get back to you on the weekends or even last minute, that's not a good strategy, right? eClass is happening during the week. If there is some kind of exchange over the weekend, it's completely at the discretion of the teacher. It's not mandatory. It's not expected. We are in summer school Monday to Friday, okay? But again, you have to communicate with your teacher. You have to be aware of those due dates. You need to know when, in a timely manner, to ask those questions so you can have that feedback in time, okay? How would you find assignment questions? So your teacher is going to post announcements and instructions on what is supposed to be completed day by day, right? And they may post direct links to the work or to the pages in your course within their announcements. Or if they don't, then you're going to search for content, and similar to the class list and assignments folder and all those other icons in your navigation bar, there's an icon that is called content. Or you may even have the content on the right-hand side of the page. It depends. Either way, you're going to have access to content, and that content is your primary vehicle to what is shared in terms of learning, but also assignments, quizzes, tests, everything is embedded there. Okay? I can't see my course on the web page. Well, make sure that you're using Google Chrome and not Internet Explorer. That's the first check. And if you need to, if you can't find the course, then send us an email, send me an email. I'll just put my email here in the chat. And as soon as I'm done this broadcast, I'm going back to my email and trying to assist as many as possible. Okay. Okay, here we go. My email on the other side was typed incorrectly, and I do not remember my password to change them both. How do I reset my system password? If you're talking about so Lou, you're gonna have to send me an email with your username or your OEN number, and if you're a Toronto Catholic student, the actual day school that you attend for Toronto Catholic, and I'll try to help you out. Yeah, today you start. If you're in session 1, you should start working as of today. I sent you an email about MCT course. Please reply as soon as possible. The only problem is that I have not signed up. So MCT 4C has been canceled. There are alternative courses available. So respond. I'll look at that email, Voxel, and you can let me know what course you're considering, okay? Don't worry about falling behind because, like I said, we're trying to work through as many emails and as many requests as possible. And we're hoping that at the very latest, some of you would be submitting work on the Monday in the morning because you're gaining access over the next few days, okay? We just have a serious volume to deal with because there's a lot of registrations that have come in last minute. And probably they've come in because we're the only program that's still accepting across the province, which is great, but it also takes a little bit of time to process all of your applications, okay? Still just going through all the messages. Questions. So basically there's no classes during the weekend. No, there's no classes during the weekend. You know, you'd have to look at how your teacher has laid out her or his course, right? So send them an email if you want to have that feedback right away in terms of your own planning. Hello, sir. I logged into my account, but my Civics does not show up. Please help. 101 Tube HD. I will get to that as soon as this broadcast is over. Just send me an email, and if you have already, I will catch up with it. Okay. Is there a specific time we would have to be on D2L? No, Kevin, there is no specific time unless, you know, your teacher volunteers to be online from 6 to 7 o'clock in the evening, and then you know that they're online. So it would help for your case if you wanted to, you know, ask them a question directly, and hopefully they can provide you with that response in real time since you're both on at the same time. When I open my courses, it only shows the summer course for now. I don't see the rest of the courses that I took the past year. Gazelle. Not sure why. Have you graduated? Are you still a Toronto Catholic student? Are you a non-Toronto Catholic student? We'd have to do a little bit more investigating there. Almost all of my assignments were omitted but my friend who is in a different history class has to do all of hers. I'm confused. Well, you know what? Check back with your teacher, and you know, your teachers are still trying to organize their course in the background, and it's not that they're not prepared. It's that we're still hiring because we're trying to help as many students as possible with all of the registration requests that have come in. So send them an email and get some clarity there, okay, around what's happening with assignments or any questions you have related to your course. Jasmine, I still haven't received my password and username. Jasmine, send me an email and I will get on it as soon as I get off this broadcast. I have about 400 emails that are unread in my inbox right now, but I will get to all of them. All right. Craig Voss, why is there history in my world religions course? Well, that has to do with content that was unfortunately uploaded in error. So you can, Craig, you can ask your teacher to, or let them know that that's what you see, and then they'll hide all of that stuff, okay? I don't know what are my assignments and I don't know how to submit them. Oh, this was a question I answered in the past. Sorry about that. Let's see, I'm gonna scroll to the bottom here. I'm registered but don't have access. Spicy avocado, I like that name. Just send me an email and I will try to respond as soon as possible. I tried to email about a course issue, but it says I don't have permission. How do I contact you? Okay, you don't have permission. So you can't send me an email from inside the course. Like, for example, if you're a student using the e-learning email address, you won't be able to use that email to contact me at tcdsb.org. Your email, all students' emails are only able to be used inside the course. Okay, if you're planning on using a Hotmail, a Yahoo, a Gmail, that email would be able to reach me and my email. But internally, the purpose of security and privacy and safety, all of those emails that students have that are created, these email addresses that are created in the e-learning site, can only work inside the e-learning site. Okay? Can you use Google Docs? Absolutely. So when you're submitting your work, though, you're going to have to download the Google Doc as either a PDF or a Word doc, and then you're going to have to upload either that Word doc file or that PDF file. When registering, I think I might have put my student number instead of my OEN number. What should I do? Ivy, send me that email. That's really important. Include the fact that include your student number and your OEN number, and we will make the change. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Well, I mean, it's great that you did, because otherwise you won't get credit for the course, because it has to match up with your student records that are connected back to the correct OEN number. Will there be exams for civics and careers online? Yes. Does it work if I use the Chrome app? Yep. There's also another app called the D2L Pulse app. And I just put it in the chat area. The D2L Pulse app is also an app that you could use to access your course. You log in and everything is there. So that's another opportunity for you to access your e-learning course. Pretty cool, actually, that app. Okay, I'm just looking. How do I unenroll from a course? To unenroll or withdraw, you have to send me an email, and then we'll withdraw you from that course. Will there be an exam for ENG4C? I'm pretty sure there'll be an exam, and it'll be online. The link of the instruction for the assignment gives me an error page not found. So Paul, just send your teacher an email and let them know that's the case, because sometimes they may have missed something, because after all, this is content that is being imported from the Ministry of Education, and there may have been a breakdown in any files that have been shared, so we can fix that. My email, I've already shared it in the chat, but I'll share it again. Is that right there? I just registered and I can't log in. They say it takes 24 hours. Can I get my assignments now? So Adam, you must have missed the earlier part of the broadcast. If you just registered, there are a significant number of last minute registrations. it definitely will take time. And I know you want to get started. We're not holding you back. It's just that a lot of people registered very, very late and very last minute. And so we're trying to process everyone's request as soon as possible, okay? All right. Any other questions? Because I'm also doing day class, I'm wondering if logging in at like 4:30 is all right. Yeah, it definitely is. There are a lot of students that are taking more than one course, and they're in a face-to-face school site location during the day, and then after the fact, they are also taking eClass. So you should let your teacher know. It doesn't hurt to share that kind of information. Your teacher is trying to get to know you in a very short period of time, is trying to understand how to organize the course to create the least amount of confusion, but to optimize the learning potential in everything that you're doing. So it won't hurt to send them an email and say, Miss, sir, I just want to let you know I'm playing sports, I'm doing an internship, I'm planning to travel, whatever it is, share info with your teacher. They don't take that information very lightly. They try to figure out when would be the best due dates, when would be the best time to encourage early submission so they can give you feedback. They'll know that, hey, Michael's working late, so maybe I should leave the Dropbox open till 10 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. Let them know. They are amazing at trying to organize the best opportunities possible for you. That's the key word, is organize. It's a skill. It's not something to take lightly. You're not just learning curriculum and content, you're developing your skills. So if you're multitasking and taking and involved in a whole bunch of things this summer, please remember that your e-learning course is a priority. Do not forget about it. Okay? Just looking here. Sure, what does for you mean? For you means that the course in its code has for you included, which means it's a grade 12 university level course. Can I do assignments any time of the day? Absolutely, Samuel. Okay, Justin, thanks for answering that question for me. I appreciate it. 3U is grade 11U, and they're both university level. I meant the exams. 4U is, so the 4U exams are face-to-face. You'll be writing it here with me at the Catholic Education Center at 80 Shepherd Avenue East. No problem, Samuel. We're going to Europe. Is there any flexibility to submit few hours later because of time change? Adam, thank you for asking that question. I don't want to hold anybody back from a wonderful summer. So let's take advantage of e-learning and let's try to do more than one thing well at a time. Have fun, focus on your course. And if there is a need for you to submit something late, don't just tell your teacher last minute. Let them know ahead of time and work something out. Okay? You don't understand how to log in? So basically, in terms of logging in, if you're a Toronto Catholic student, you would use your TCDSB username and password. If you're a non-Toronto Catholic student, you would use your OEN number as your username, and then your password would have to be issued by us. Okay, so then you could contact me and I will issue you a password. The 4C exam is not face-to-face. Okay, it would be online. Is the MCT course going to run during session 2, Voxel? If I had to guess, my answer would be no, because we only have 3 students in total registered for that course. So I would suggest you select something else. How long do we need to be using the Wi-Fi every day? It depends. It depends on your course. It depends on the content. If you're able to, read what you have to read, take those notes offline, and then work behind the scenes, right? So I would have to say that you need Wi-Fi at least 1 hour a day. And that's putting it very lightly. Okay. Do I message you through email if you have any questions later on? Yeah, why not? But if they're related to your course, you should email your teacher, because I don't have information about content and assignments and stuff like that. Is the exam for non-4U courses proctored? No. No. The only exams that are proctored are the ones that are proctored face-to-face. Your teacher says that there is an assignment due today, but you can't find it. Okay, so Maria, just send me an email with your teacher's name and I'll forward that to her to follow up with you. Can we do it on our cell phones? So Ryan, if you want my advice, that's a great question. If you want my advice, if you want to read and sort of review stuff over your cell phone, yeah, I think it's possible. But if you have to actually write up some work, some assignments, some essays, it may be difficult for you to actually save and figure out that workflow around how to upload. Like, for example, I could, no problem, because on my iPhone, I've got iCloud storage, for example. So if I was working on, or even a Google Doc I have, right? I could, as an app, I could create whatever it is that I'm creating, an essay, and start typing it up and whatever. And then I would have to save it on iCloud as a file, or save it in your Google Drive as a file. And then when it's time for you to upload to your assignments folder, as long as you're able to find it on your phone where the document resides, then you can always upload it. So it's possible, but you should always back up your work. So if you're using Google Docs, it auto saves. So there's no concern there, but don't ever not back up your work. Okay? Is today orientation? No, Samuel, you got to start your course today. Is there an exam for civics careers? Yep, online. Thank you, Mr. Russo. No problem. I'm a non-TCDSB student. How will my mark be sent to the post-secondary schools? Great question. And I think this will be the final question of our broadcast for today. So if you are a non-Toronto Catholic student, you have to come and pick up your midterm if you need it right away, or you have to come and pick up your report card. Here at the board office, 80 Shepherd Avenue East, pick up the report card, take it right to your school board and have them update your records. They will transfer your mark. If you're instead able to pick up your report card and drive it to or walk it to a university or college that you're about to be registered in and hand it over to the registrar's office, that's totally up to you. But we will not transfer marks to OCAS and OUAC on behalf of non-Toronto Catholic. It's not intentional. It's just that we don't have that integration. We only have that integration for our own students. Okay. How do I email my teacher, Maria? Go to your course, select class list as an icon, find your teacher's name because they will be given the role of teacher and everyone else will be student. Select their name and then a window will open up for you to compose a message and send them an email. Is the exam for English face-to-face or online? Grade 12 English is online. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Grade 12 English, university level, is face-to-face. No problem, Maria. Okay, folks, I'm going to leave you for now. I got to get back to my inbox. Thanks for connecting with me, and I'm back online tomorrow, I believe at 11 and 1 o'clock again. Let me just double check. I'm on at 11. All right. That's all for now, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.